Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Anything But Hold'em. We are playing Satellites to get into the TCOOP-02 tomorrow, or 02 tomorrow, which is a $55 turbo, of course, no limit Omaha high-low tournament. So I figured that was a good thing for the stream to go in. So this is a $7.50 satellite. So, like 1 in 8 people roughly are going to get a ticket at the moment. Still late reg going on, still 33 minutes of late reg. At the moment, there's 4 tickets available at the end of the day. So still quite a ways to go before we're getting anything worthwhile happening here. But doing okay, pretty happy with the current situation. I'm up chips. Moving on. I wonder how often this guy's checking clubs on the flop. Low clubs is probably going to check on the flop a fair bit, and that's, with the ace king out now, he's going to be much happier betting them. So, yeah, he's probably got clubs. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't have clubs there. Makes sense for him to have clubs there, I think. Get rid of that. It's a nice example of one of those hands that you'd play in Omaha high that you're not really all that interested in Omaha low. I mean, there's some in the high low. There's some merit for that hand, but it's not the strongest in the world. I'd almost be more tempted to play a hand like this in a high low context with all of the straight possibilities and 3 cards playing to low than you would the other one, frankly. Four cards to low, you're almost certainly going to play, especially when 3 of them are nut cards, not low cards. And it's going to be worth a raise most of the time as well, especially in this small blind into big blind, blind on blind. I'm happy that I'm drawing to the best low at this point, and probably got decent chance of drawing to reasonable highs if I pair something, or I think I'll check back on this turn here. Mostly pot control. I don't want the pot to get hugely bloated at this point when I've got a marginal hand. I suppose it opens myself up to be shoved on like that, which is an unfortunate situation, I suppose. I can draw to the second nut, third nut low, but that's just a draw, and I think probably getting out of the way is the best option there. He has a queen there almost all the time, I think, which means that my high hand is pretty much I got no hope of a high hand. So just had to mute myself on the stream that runs at my end here, because it's very annoying to hear what you were saying 3 minutes ago in your ears as you're trying to speak now. That's something that's a very difficult thing to do. Trust me, it messes with your brain when that happens. Ace deuce 5, nut diamonds, we're definitely going to be involved in that. Pretty happy with this flop, nut low, draw. Gonna keep the pressure on, I think, and probably get folds most of the time with this C-bet. I mean, I'm obviously thrilled with that. I've got straight draws out the wazoo. I've got the nut low. There's really nothing that I'm unhappy with about this. So continuing to put the pressure on. I don't even mind bloating the pot there, obviously, because I'm taking it 95% of the time. So, the bigger it gets, the better that is for me, right? So. Oh, and it looks like my title on my Stream is still wrong. Let me actually fix that. Let me fix. Let me fix that. What are we playing today? We are playing a TCOOP-02 set. Fold that. $7.50 NLO8 is what we are doing. Cool, cool, cool. That more accurately represents what we are doing today. Gonna put a raised blind on blind in with that. We've got a low possibility. The Jack 9's not terrible. Got straight possibilities up top. Gonna take it down a lot. It's another one we're gonna throw a raise in position in with being on the button. Obviously, don't really have any odds to call here, so we just get out of the way. You know, it's gonna happen. We're gonna have to raise fold sometimes, I think. Get out of the way on this one, I think. Six-handed obviously is going to make this a slightly different calculation as well. We're going to have to open up our range quite a bit more because the average hands are going to be weaker that people are going to be coming in with. You know, clearly watching more of Shecky here, I'm thinking that we're probably going to have to play you play along with his aggression a fair bit when the hand is there. Obviously had the clubs there, but, you know, not entirely sure that's been the case the whole time. Deuce 9, 10, king. Obviously not a great high-low hand. The suited hearts give you some interest in it. They are technically connected, being the 9 king, but the 9 king has to be one of the worst straights in the world to play for. Nonetheless, I think blind on blind is worth a raise. You know, we seem to be getting away with these about half the time when we just kind of open raise. Pretty happy with the 3-pair situation. There's not going to be a low, so I don't have to worry about the fact that I have no low. And 2-pair is going to be good here a fair bit. I mean, Queen Jack is going to beat me. You know, Queen Jack's going to be there from time to time and be on a straight at the moment. But I don't think that's going to be often enough that I can get away, that I can fold this, especially with the way the action's gone on the table. Jack Queen, of course. He's got Jack Queen. Still, I mean, we had full house outs, obviously, so I mean, I think we're playing that anyways. We're all in with ace 4, suited spades, netted spades. We're all in there. See what happens. This could be a short stream. If we're done here, this could be a very short stream. But hey, you know, so it goes. There's no rebuys in these. Alrighty, that's at least puts us back in action to a certain degree. The A7 is obviously not the best, but of course, when you know that spades are going to come on the flop like that, and you've got the nut spades, that's obviously what you have to do in this situation. I think we're going to check back and just see what people want to do on the turn. I mean, obviously, I'm giving away a possibility for people to take half with a low, but I think that there's going to be, like I say, this here, and we can call here and see what people do on the river. Um, you know, we're pretty happy that we've got the nut high. So I think at this point it's you know, time to go here. And we got a shot at the nut low as well, right? Or at the low as well. Well, we didn't take the low, but we did of course take the high pot. Getting under the gun, I'm gonna get away from this. It's not the strongest high low in the world, and you know, I'm still rebuilding my stack. As you can see, I've revamped the visuals on the stream a little bit. Had a little chat and email with Jamie Staples and had a bit of chat about the visual effect, and I really liked what we were doing, but gave me a couple of really good suggestions that I like, and I think this is I think it's a lot tighter now and should work a little bit better. So I'm pretty happy to see that. I'm also going to try to going to be looking at over the next week or so. I'm going to be looking at the schedules on Tilt and 888 and Stars, and I'm going to put together a schedule of games that I plan to play that I can put up in the notices so that everybody knows when I'm going to be on, and you guys, you know, people can plan to stay and watch. If you're looking for a specific game, well, there's going to be, you know, there's going to be a Raz Day, and if you're looking for, uh, you know, if you're looking for Badoogie, there'll be a Badoogie Day, and we'll do it that way. So the TCOOP Vet 2 runs tomorrow afternoon, I believe it is my time. 8-7 King 10. I think we're gonna get rid of that. It's pretty weak on both ends, and you're just asking for a lot of grief. Let's have a quick look at TCOOP is noon. So it runs noon tomorrow. If we get a ticket, I don't think that I'm going to don't think I'm going to buy in with my own cash, and there's probably a limit to the amount of money I'm going to spend on trying to sat in. But I think we're going to um, try to sat in. Spades have been good to us so far today. That's a horrible reason for me to make a shove. But I mean, the ace four, 5, 8. I've got 4 cards to a low, depending on what comes. So there's a lot of good low possibilities. He's got better cards to a low, but I do have better high. So there we go. Cool. That works. I'll take it. Bit of a suck out on there, but I'll take it. I am not above accepting suckouts, folks. That is something that you gotta live with. You're gonna get sucked out on, and you gotta accept that you're gonna suck out as well. So 8s and 6s for high. Plus 8, 6, 3, 4 deuce for low. So I'm actually pretty happy with the situation here, and I think it's worth putting some money in the pot with. I might have actually even gone with a slightly larger than half pot bet there. Although obviously didn't get any value out of that, so maybe I have to go a little lower. Maybe I have to go a little smaller if I'm looking to get value there. Um, there's obviously lots of straight possibilities happening there, but out of position, I think I'm going to get rid of that hand and just move on to the next. Currently sitting 18th out of 32 current people. There's been 56 entries so far, but only 32 remaining. We still have 10 minutes of late reg left, so there's still chances for people to jump in. Yeesh. Yeesh, 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 yeesh. It's too late for me to... I probably should be shoving that, frankly. But... Yeah, the problem is I get called there and it's pretty weak on both ends. The low is just horrible, and the pair of tens can so easily be capped by people running with an ace deuce when an ace comes down, things like that. So there's lots of reasons to not be involved with a hand like that. So again, there's lots of times if you're a PLO player, there's lots of times in here where you're going to look at hands that look really pretty from a PLO perspective, and they're just not really going to be nearly as powerful as you think they are in a high-low from a high-low perspective. The King Jack Jack 5 that was up above that just got knocked out would be a nice example of one of those hands that's um, not nearly so nice. This is another example of one that you'd be sort of jumping all over in a PLO high context, but with only the 8 ace low, I mean obviously the diamonds make that a little stronger, but you know you're under the gun and 8 ace low is not a very solid low to play on. Um, Taking into account as well, we're playing six-handed, so the average hand strength is going to be weaker in general. So slightly more marginal hands are actually going to play better than you might expect. Um, it's not necessarily an argument for going crazy with crap, but it's, you know, you do have to open your game up a little bit more in a six-handed scenario than you do. It's hard to imagine how I'm ahead here with just a pair of fives in any context. I don't have a low draw, so I really think getting out of the way is the best option there. I mean, it's hard to see how I'm ahead. Random kings are beating me there, so you know, random kings and queens are kicking my ass there. So we need to get out of the way there. I think usually. I think this is one that we're gonna get involved with, though. Frankly, certainly could shove that, and that's sort of what the plan for this flop is, I think. Although I think a pot bet there maybe gets the same result. Split pot works for me. He was drawing into low, so I mean he had to hit it to take half the pot away from me. I'm pretty happy with that situation. Get out of the way there. I mean, we're obviously at a spot now where lots of people have got between 10 and 20 big blinds, which means there's crap loads of shoving going on, and there's a whole crap load of variance at this point. Not that there's not a lot of variance in No Limit Omaha 8 to begin with, but you know, there's even more in a turbo situation like this where you're, you know, there's 31 people left in the tournament, and you're, you know, 15, 20 big blinds for a lot of people. The biggest stack on the in the tournament's only 50 big blinds. Folding, folding, folding. Jonathan, good to see you. Hello. We are on a 3-minute delay. It's obviously nice to have you here. Playing No Limit Omaha High Low. Ace 8, 7 Queen. I think I'll get rid of that. Under the gun. Good to see you back. It's good to see you here, Jonathan. Please, please, please do me a favor. Click the follow button below and follow me. You can see when we're in. I'll be obviously, if I win the ticket, I'll be streaming again tomorrow for the TCOOP-02. Probably do a couple more satellites through the course of the day today. I don't know if I will stream them or not, but I'm probably going to be doing some. See what the flop brings here. I think the flop brings enough equity to shove with. Ooh, don't like his diamonds over there. I do like our set of sevens. Binkage! You gotta like that. Gotta like that. It's not the worst. It's obviously not the worst sack out in the world, but you know, he was drawing as much as we were, and it's kind of unlucky that we were in there against bigger clubs. But you know, that's the way it's gonna go sometimes. Yep, the chasers are always good. Hey, sometimes I'm a chaser myself, you know. Sometimes I'm a chaser myself. This is a nice example of one of those hands that you'd be jumping all over in a putt in a high context, but you're just not all that interested in from a high-low context. That picture, Jonathan, is from Dusk Till Dawn Poker in Nottingham, UK, during a black belt poker live tournament in 2012, I believe, although it could be 2013. I'd have to go back and look at my records uh, to figure. Yeah, the delay is kind of brutal. I don't like people looking at my hole cards if that's actually the case, although there's not many people on the stream anyways, but I've actually thought of trying some live for a while until I get more viewers. But you're right, the delay is a bit brutal. Um, but yeah, I was over at the UK for work a couple of years back and happened to be there. I always take some time off when I travel for work before or after the work requirements, so I can travel and do some vacation and wherever they've sent me. And in that case, it happened that the week after I was done work was a week of one of the Black Belt Live, Knots Live tournaments that Neil Channing ran. And it was a lot of fun. It was great. Yeah, I didn't cash in. I didn't actually even make it past day one in it. I busted. Can't remember which level it was, but it was late in day one that I busted, where I got all my money in with top and nut flush draw against uh, two pair, and I basically bricked out the turn in the river. And that's poker, folks, right? That's poker, folks. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it happened that there was a professional photographer that had come out for the event, and she snapped that picture of me as I was playing at one of the tables, and I really like it. I think it's well. There's not a ton of pictures. There's not a ton of still photographs of me playing poker, frankly. But I really like the way that one turned out, and it's hard to imagine that very many others would be any better than that one. Ace deuce, double suited with one nut suit. I think we're going to be putting some money in the pot with this. I don't know if shoving everything, if I'm going to enter the pot at this point, is the right move or not, but it's probably something that I'm going to, and I'm obviously going to be calling this, I believe, even though our low is a bit crippled with it. We've got the diamond draw, and it's just, it may be maybe a short day. The ace is nice. The deuce, ace deuce, there we go. Full house. Woohoo, binkage! Yeah, folks, gotta love the binkage. Later, man. I think that's definitely something I want to get involved with. getting some fun chat on the table. Always nice to poke the angry guy a little bit to inflame the rage a little bit more. I enjoy that. Oh, that's a nice flop for our hand. At least for our low hand, it's a very nice flop. I think a nice value C bet, 4,200, slightly more than half pot. That's the way to go. Surrogate is nicely tilted against us, so I'm expecting a shove here, which of course we call because we have the nut low. I do love it when people consider me a moron and an idiot at the table because it clearly shows that they don't really understand how to play this game, I think, anyways. And I'm pretty happy to put my results in 08 up against most others here. So the H3-4-8, four cards to a low, two hearts. We're definitely calling this. I mean, there's no question. Two pair. Well, we take half a pot. That's decent. We get moved away from the table of abuse. Obviously, don't mind the abuse. It's actually kind of funny to see abuse like that. He's just unhappy because I called his shove with when he had a pretty weak hand. That's life, folks. Deal with it. It's obviously a hand you want to see a flop with in a high-low context because of all the nice straighty possibilities there, but not for my whole stack. I'm going to raise this one, I think. Deuce 4-6 is going to be strong. Got all those clubs. I mean, three clubs is obviously a little worse than two clubs in a Omaha context, but that's definitely an interesting hand, but nut clubs, pair of fours, Ace queen. I think I'll throw some money in the pot for that. Put in a raise. Fold that one out, I think. Pair of kings is obviously a decent start on the high. I'm going to get rid of it. It might seem a little bit strange to people playing PLO high, but I had very little low possibilities, and that just cripples you from the start of the hand. So late reg will be over now. Total of 65 people in, 14 people remaining. 8 of us will get entries to TCOOP-02 tomorrow, and the 9th place person will get $3.30. Everybody else goes home crying. I'm going to call this in position, I think. I'm currently sitting 6th, so I am in ticket range. I don't think I'm going to be calling this, obviously. It's not strong enough on either end, although this Kant guy is definitely shoving his chips around in the last little while. We'll sit back and watch him for a bit, see what happens. No low, so we're getting out of there. Ha. We just threw away a set of deuces? Yeah, we just threw away a set of deuces. Oh, shit's going to happen. Cheat's going to happen. Get rid of that. You know, the pair of nines are relatively strong. High. The 8-5 low is going to be in trouble a lot. Shove the queens there. We don't really want action with this with no low hand, but can't keep folding hands like that, even though it's got no low possibility. Best option is just to put all the chips in. That's a potentially callable hand. I think this is a shove if it folds around to us. Might even be a 3-bet because he's raising so many of those buttons that I think it's a 3-bet shove over his mid raise. Be taking this one down. Pair of kings obviously is pretty strong here. I certainly could have shoved that, although I've got 22, 23 big blinds now, so I probably got more. 26 big blinds, so I probably have more than a shove stack for an open at this point, but it's kind of what I was expecting from him. I'm going to be ahead on high most of the time. Still ahead on high, but he's going to take low, I think. Yeah. So I'm third now of 12. I'm mostly going to be fairly cautious, I think, at this point now. I'm well in the cashing range, I think. Um, People are going to have to be crashing out here pretty quick as things go on um, like that. So, alrighty, we're on break. So I'm gonna head off and do my breaky things, and I will be back. Just realized I've been chatting into a dead mic, so well, I'm back now. Throw the camera back on again. We are hand for hand now. 9 people left, which means the next person who busts gets $3.30, and everybody else gets a ticket to tomorrow's game. Currently sitting in 5th position with the people below us pretty low. So I think we're not playing a ton of hands at this point. I think we're playing very few hands, and going to expect to get our ticket here relatively soon when somebody has to shove and busts. The smallest stack is at our table. Other stacks is 22, 43, 47, 54 below us. So all of those people need to do things before we need to do anything at all. Shoot to kill 8 here is the tiny stack at the moment. The one that needs to do the most at the moment. Shite. I wonder if I call here to increase the chances of busting somebody. I don't think so. I've obviously got some good possibilities here, but I think saving my chips is the way to go. I would have hit a set of... Might have taken the... Yeah, I would have taken the top there, I think. But I would have lost the bottom. So... Figured that was going to happen. Should have probably just folded it to him. Going to be doing a lot of folding, I think, at this point. Still sitting 5th of 9, which means there's no real reason for us to be doing anything, especially with people shoving like this. Folding there most of the time. We didn't have any low possibilities. I suppose we have to consider calling there some of the time because he's going to be shoving really wide, given how we've been folding lately. But I don't think that that's a hand to call with. Consider calling with. It's certainly one that a guy might consider calling with, but I think considering the situation, I've just got to fold. I mean, I suppose that's a hand that I could play, but I don't really see any reason for me to shove anything at this point when there's four people below me with smaller stacks, um, three of which are fairly significantly smaller stacks that need to do something long before I need to do something. With eight people paying and us on the, or with eight tickets out and us on the ticket bubble right now, I really think that shoving pretty much any hand at this point is minus EV. So, what are you going to do? I think folding pretty much every hand is the best ICM move for me at this point, at least until uh, a significant number of these double up and go above me. So I've moved down a spot to sixth now, but I'm still significantly ahead of the people that have to act um, before I do. So I'm, still in the position where I think I'm folding most hands. Gold Gammon's got 20,000 chips, which means he absolutely has to do something before I do. And then there's two people with 35,000 that have to act before I do. And again, I think that I just, because of the situation, I have to fold pretty much everything at this stage. Well, I'm definitely folding now. I was considering calling shoot to kill 8, but I'm definitely folding now. Nice. There we go. So ticket to tomorrow's TCOOP-02. Awesome. Well, we're gonna close down the stream now. That's great. I'm gonna be here at noon tomorrow for the TCOOP-002 No Limit Omaha 8 Turbo 6 Max. See you then. I'm out.